Looks muddy. I don't like the way that looks. All right, cool. Let's put this back a little bit. I think we're live. We are live. Can I back this up some more? All right, cool. That's solid. All right. So, let me make sure I don't. This chair had me spazzing out last night. So let me get my little electrolytes, and then we're gonna start with the intro with the e-begging. I'm gonna answer some Q&A questions that I missed last live, and then we're gonna go into the discussion. Then after the discussion, I'll answer some Q&A questions, and once I run out of questions, the stream will be over. And don't mind me if I look extra oily. That's that shea butter, baby. Black power. I'm glad no one's in here right now to hear that part. anyways, anyways. Someone asked me last stream. We talked about what was the main thing we talked about last stream? We talked about consistency does not guarantee success, but having no consistency guarantees failure. You won't always be confident. You cannot 100% always carry confidence, but you can 100% carry conviction. And that's what we talked about. Someone asked me the question. They said, Smitty, what in the world does that mean? Having that, like the first quote, having consistency does not guarantee success. They didn't quite get that. So I'm gonna answer that in a second. But anyways, first off, for my people that just walked in already, my connoisseur spiders, please go ahead and like the video. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. They already started liking it. Y'all do what I was about to say. Please like the video. My spider gang, I need you guys. Let's start commenting right now. Please start commenting right now. If you don't know what to say, that's fine. Throw up some emojis. That helps. Just get the support muscle working, as I like to call it. And then my super spiders. The super spiders came in last live. We're going to be investing in a chair because I was cramping being on live for too long. So someone said in the comment section, we're making it out the streams. No, they said we're making it out the car with this one, with these streams, because I started off in the car. I like that. But let me answer this person's question now. Excuse me. So, so consistency to me, when it comes to dealing with jiu-jitsu, martial arts, or whatever, to me, consistency, a good idea is just showing up, okay? So you could just show up all the time. There's a lot of people that just show up, right? But that doesn't, just because you show up doesn't mean you're going to be a winner. What did they say about insanity? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again. I mean, if you look at it, insanity is consistency in a way, you know? So you can consistently do the wrong thing. You could be showing up 7 days a week in class, 7 days a week, but you're drilling wrong. You get what I'm saying? And that doesn't mean, and because of you're being consistent, but you're being consistently wrong. This is why having consistency does not guarantee success. Now, one thing that separates you from someone who's not consistent is, even though you're doing it wrong all the time, someone who shows up to class like maybe once or twice of the week, that they definitely are guaranteed for failure, okay? So what I want to talk about today is the winning mindset. I don't know what I have on the title. I quickly made this title and just jumped on live. I didn't even share this live either because I feel like I realized the last live did incredibly well, and I feel like there's a certain amount of people that needs to hear certain things I'm saying, and we have that lets me know that I'm talking to my core fan base. That's what that lets me know. So I don't have to go just promote it on all my social sites to get nosy people in here. I'm just talking to my core audience, and that's exactly what I like. So if you are watching this stream, You are a part of my core audience, and I deeply appreciate you. One of these days, I'm gonna start making codes for only my core audience. So when I create my merchandise stuff, you guys can put that code in and get extra money off. That's kind of what I plan on doing. Anywho, but I said the psychology of winning. I want to talk about that today. The psychology of winning. And what I want, the word I want to say, because yesterday, last stream, we talked about conviction and we talked about execution. No, that's the way to win. We talked about consistency and conviction. So let me start explaining this stuff. Let me start explaining this right here. When you consistently show up, right? When you consistently show up, that right there is half of the battle, okay? You have to show up. You have to be consistent in your training. Okay, this is like I would say half of the battle of getting better. If you want to compete in jiu-jitsu, martial art, any type of sport, well, I would say I'm gonna stick with jiu-jitsu because I know a lot of my audience watches me because they do jiu-jitsu. If you want to get better in jiu-jitsu or any striking martial art or any martial art, you need to be in the gym at least 4 times a week if you're gonna compete. At least 4 times a week, okay? And you need to be consistent about that. If you are just showing up, maybe this week you showed up 4 times, and then next week you show up 3 times, you're not putting yourself in the correct position to win, to be able to be consistent enough to get your body prepared for a competition. And that's another thing I talked about before. And I feel like everything that I'm talking to you guys about is starting to slowly build up together. Put yourself in winning positions, have consistency, and having conviction. And then now we're going to talk about today, which is how to win, like winning itself. Because conviction and consistency is the killer mindset, but execution is how you win. And I feel I've seen it before. There's people, they will do so well in practice, right? I mean, it's crazy. And then they will turn around and they'll get to the competition, right? Or the game or whatever, and they choke. We have seen this so many times. That's because they had poor execution. And this is why I say, I hope I put it in the title, I said being humble is a weakness. I really do believe being humble is a weakness. I think that there is a form of healthy narcissism that every athlete must have, every fighter, because this is not a team sport. Yes, you can have a coach, yes, you can have your people, but at the end of the day, you're going to be by yourself on the mat. And humbleness is a loser's mindset to me. Because if you go look at the actual definition of what humbleness actually is, humbleness is viewing one's own self, like lowering lowering the perception of one's importance. Go look it up. That's what humbleness, like every time people say you need to be more humble, I'm like, why? Why would I view myself as lower? Now, I know like that's not what they're talking about, but I do believe humbleness, when someone tells you to be humble, right, in your martial arts, I believe that that's the weapon of the insecure. They see that you believe that you should be great, and they see that you're on the pursuing of your greatness, and they want you to lower that and diminish the way you view yourself. Be more humble, look down, and stuff like that. I really do believe that being humble is the weapon of the insecure when people tell you that in martial arts. Why? Because when you step on the mat, right, it's just you and this opponent. And like I said last stream, it's a silent conversation that's happening now between you and this opponent. And if you are used to putting your head down and you're not at least some form of narcissistic, when it comes time to pull the trigger, when it comes time to have that conviction, that belief that you are worthy of winning, you won't execute it properly when the time comes. This is why I said that conviction is what allows you to snatch your success. Okay, conviction means belief. You believe. It's a self-belief. You have a self-belief that you can snatch this. Okay, and I believe that just like now that in some ways I do believe being humble is good if you're in a team sport. Okay, cool. Whatever. That's fine. Okay, cool. But there's an anime called Blue Lock. I think that's like, if anyone doesn't understand what I'm saying and you do happen to like anime, go watch Blue Lock. I I remember when I was watching Blue Lock as an athlete. It's basically like a sports anime, and it's about soccer pretty much. And Japan, I'm giving you guys a quick synopsis. Japan, they haven't produced a good like team in the story. They haven't produced a good team to win the World Cup. So there's this guy, he creates a system called Blue Lock, and basically it's about cultivating who has the most ego of being the best. So they can, and he's gonna grab all of the best, put them in one little like group, and then they're gonna basically win Japan's World Cup or something. It's something like that. But if you watch that, that is what I mean by a healthy form of narcissism. What is execution? Okay, the ability to carry out a plan exactly how it was planned or how you deem the plan to be. It's the strategy, and it's the tactics. Okay, so I believe that showing up is the consistency, right? You need consistency, right? But you're not gonna. It doesn't guarantee your success. Okay, your conviction also, I believe, does not guarantee your success. It just gives you the ability to snatch your success. But it's the killer mindset. And when you step on the mat, having the ability to execute properly is what's going to allow you to win. And I think a lot of people actually don't know how to win. You would be so shocked. A lot of people don't know how to win. I know it sounds very simple, but I feel like this is going to fly over a lot of people's head. A lot of people don't know how to win. There's so many things that's happening. They feel like they're not deserving of a win. They feel scared. And that's why I said, like, I think narcissism in martial arts is very, very healthy. It's a little bit short. Actually, no. I have I was just now here Smitty goes with his stories. I believe that. Well, first let me tell this story. So I was just before I hopped on live, I was listening to this guy. I think his name is Tim something. I would have to go relook at it. My YouTube. I was sitting back, and I was sitting here and I was drawing or whatever. And when I draw, I like to listen to like philosophical ways, and just so happened this, like, I was already thinking about talking about the psychology of winning. That it's kind of funny. I think YouTube be or just something's going on, because the YouTube algorithm sent me a whole hour long video of this particular guy. He was Michael Jordan's and Kobe Bryant's coach, on what he believes the psychology of winning is. And what this man talked about was some of the most intriguing stuff. And that's why I came up with the idea of execution. And he said that you need to, in order to be a winner, you have to have experienced a lot of losses. And that cut so deep within me, because despite when a lot of you guys watch my stuff, people always ask the silly question of, have you ever lost? And to me, I never answered that question, because no one knew. Like, I think someone said this. It's a quote. No one knows the violence it takes to get this gentle, in a way. You get what I'm saying? No one knows the blood, sweat, and, as someone said in my last live, years it took to get to this moment to be the way that I am. Now, when I was in high school, I played football. Some people think I did wrestling. I played football. And you could literally fact check this. I mean, I don't think anyone would want to brag about this, but my senior year, due to ego and bad management or whatever, we went 0 and 10. You heard that correctly. We went 0 and 10. That means we lost all 10 games my senior year of high school football. All 10 games. And and it wasn't just like close games. It was straight blowouts, you know? And I will never forget that right there. Like consistently going every Friday for 10 weeks and getting blown out. We would put like maybe like 7 or 14 points on the board and then get blown out by 50 points. Because, I mean, the reason why that was happening is another story, it's excuses or whatever. But I will never forget seeing, like, being on the losing side. I will never forget that. Like, seeing the faces of losers. I literally hung around for, and then there was there was like a curse going on in my high school where like our team, it like my freshman year everybody did really good, right? My freshman team went 7 and 3, so we were like gonna be like supposed to be this really good team. But then over time throughout high school, like it was a lot of politics going on with the program, and we was just losing badly all like until my senior year, where it the crescendo of everything, the tipping point was we went 0 and 10. And so when I tell you that I have seen the face of losers, the face of what it looks like to lose far too many times. And I think honestly I was accepting of it because in my life growing up as well, you know, me, I'm like 5. I like to tell people I'm 5'7", but some people say I look 5'6". But you know, growing up as a shorter person, you know, I also got the short end of the stick a lot of times growing up. It's just like all through my life, I experienced a lot of losses. And then I remember when I was 17 years old, and I told myself, I was like, you know what? I'm tired of losing. I literally said that. I said, I'm tired of losing. I'm gonna go to the gym, and I am going to start lifting weights. I don't know why. I thought getting buff was the way to win or something. I don't know. But that right there, just the mentality, the conviction, and the consistency of constantly going to the gym. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but you know, I went to the gym, and then eventually that led me into martial arts, where a lot of one thing that I emphasized while lifting weights, and it has paid dividends, was I never could like I'm not really like well now I've gotten pretty strong, but I never like had really good upper body strength, but I've always had really good lower body strength. So I emphasized a lot of leg workouts. Like I would stretch. I put myself into the splits or whatever, and then I turned around and I was lifting. I think the highest I ever got to was 275 pounds, like squatting. And then when I went to martial arts and learned the triangle choke, this is why when you see some of these big guys, these big Goliaths, and I catch them in a triangle choke, they can't seem to move. That's literally from when I was 17 years old, and I said, okay, I don't want to lose no more. I want to be a winner. And so I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do. I actually no. I remember being obsessed with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I like he like I used to be obsessed with him, and I used to be in the forums, and everybody used to talk about how Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't have really like good looking legs. So I was like, well, Arnold Schwarzenegger was massive, and since he didn't have big legs, I'm gonna have big legs. It was weird. I don't know, but the point is, I just went off on a crazy tangent. But my point is that I experienced all through my life a lot of losses. I would say, yeah, I experienced a lot of losses first to get to having a winner's mindset, and it changed when I started looking into myself and saying, you know what, I deserve. And that's why I think when like walking around trying to be humble in martial arts is a bad way to go about it. I mean, if you're not going to practice the sport of martial arts, and you're not gonna do sports, like you're not gonna be competing in martial arts. Okay, being humble, you can be humble, like that's good. It's nothing wrong with being humble, but I think that you need to be a little bit narcissistic in telling yourself that you are the best, even if you're not the best. You need to tell yourself you're the best. So when you step on the mat and you've had that consistency and you've had that conviction, now all it comes down to is the execution. And the thing about execution is that a lot of people don't understand, and I see a lot of people shy away from this, is people don't like to do their homework. I think execution is basically carrying out a plan. That's strategy and tactics. Now, we could talk about strategy and tactics another day. That's a whole another thing. But I hope that kind of helps a lot of you guys out in terms of understanding that, yes, you can be consistent and you need conviction, but you need to execute you need to execute in order to win. We're gonna go more. I want to keep, maybe not tomorrow, but I want to keep talking about the psychology of winning. And you need to feel that you're deserving. And I believe that humbleness is a weakness. I really do believe it's a weakness. I believe you need to tell yourself that you are the best. Don't be delusional. There's a difference. There's a difference. Being delusional is, I believe, kind of the downfall of what we see happen to a lot of fighters. Like Ronda Rousey, for example. Ronda Rousey had gotten to a point where she had became delusional into believing that she was the best, right? And I believe that her preparation of how she trained probably was affected. You know, she probably didn't train hard a certain way, and she didn't take certain opponents serious, and then eventually, you know, we saw what happened to Ronda Rousey, and the same happened with Conor McGregor. I believe that right there is the fall. I don't think it's not being humble enough, or not being humble, or being too cocky or arrogant, or being like I call a form of healthy narcissism. I think it's being delusional, and a lot of delusional people don't like to look within themselves and tell themselves that something's wrong and being able to self-correct themselves. So delusional is something different. You don't want to be delusional. When you step on the mat, I'm glad I just thought about that. When you step on the mat, you don't want, like, delusion is you didn't train at all. You just thought you was about to come in and win that competition. That's delusional, you know? That's not narcissistic. You're just delusional. That's not smart planning, okay? But healthy narcissism is you saying, I'm the best, right? Okay, well, if I'm the best, then what can I do to prove that I'm the best? And winning doesn't lie. You know, it's hard for people to tell you that you're not the best if you're consistently winning. So, someone said Kobe Covington too. Yeah, all that. Like, I really truly believe that when we see the fall of a lot of these fighters, is just stop thinking of the cockiness. Stop thinking of the arrogance. Like, that's good, actually. That's good. It's the delusion. Like, for example, here's another, oh my gosh. We can go for days with this one. Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill was having a fight with Alex Pereira. And everybody has seen Alex Pereira's power, right? Jamal Hill, and I am a fan of Jamal Hill. I watched him from the Contender Series, like, basically grow up into the UFC. I've watched him have wars when he was, I forgot who he was fighting against, but after he beat the person, like, knocked him out, he was laid out on the canvas, and Jamal Hill said, I belong here. It was just stuff like that I liked seeing about Jamal Hill. Like, he came in, he knew he could knock people out. But Jamal Hill became delusional. And he told everyone that he's going to stand up with one of the heaviest hitters that the UFC has ever seen thus far. And he's going to try to knock that guy out. He even told Demetrius Johnson on Demetrius Johnson's stream. And Demetrius Johnson, I believe, has IQ levels above me. He's like, because he's older, and I feel like he He's experienced more things than I have. Maybe someday I'll be on Demetrius Johnson's IQ level, but I know I'm not right now. But Demetrius Johnson told him you should probably take him down and use actual mixed martial arts on Alex Potan instead of trying to make it a kickboxing match. Jamal Hill told Demetrius Johnson, "Nah, I'm gonna knock him out." What happened to Jamal Hill? That was delusional. Jamal Hill he was out of the UFC for some time, and your first fight is with one of the hardest hitting people in the UFC, and you have ring rust, and you think you about to knock this dude out who just went to wars with some of the most decorated strikers, and bro, that's delusion. So I think like, yeah, there you go. Don't be delusional. That's a difference, okay? Don't be delusional. So that's what people don't know. Some people say about me when they watch my stuff, they say I'm cocky or whatever. Yeah, probably. I don't think I'm that cocky. I do think there is some arrogance, and I'm definitely not humble when I step on the mat. But Smitty ain't delusional. Smitty believes he can be touched. I truly believe that. That's why every day I wake up, I'm constantly studying and I'm trying to figure out how in the world do I get better? How do I enhance myself? How do I heal myself faster than my opponent and stuff like that? Like for example, I have a super fight. Jiu-Jitsu guys call it super fights. I don't know why. It should be called super matches, but I have a super fight that I'm talking about in a month. It's going to be July 19th, and it's going to be my first competition as a purple belt. And I right now I'm currently negotiating with the organization. I'm trying to first put myself in a winning position. I'm been consistent so far with the live streams talking to you guys, been consistent with the gym, I'm being consistent, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna win. You get what I'm saying? Okay, I believe I'm gonna win. I have the conviction, but now it's all about the execution. I can't you hear the way I'm talking. I don't know who it is, but I believe I'm gonna win, okay? But you know, the execution, I'm not delusional. I could lose. And it's gonna be live stream. I think you guys would actually like that. But anywho, I think I went on tangents from far from the discussion. Let me briefly say what I said, and then I'm gonna go into the Q&A with you guys. So I said the quote of we're building this stuff up. Put yourself in winning positions. That's number one. Put yourself in winning positions. Don't try to test yourself. I don't know why people do this. Don't try to test yourself. What do I mean by that? Don't see if you saying maybe I think I could do something, that's not putting yourself in a winning position. You should be able to say, "Oh, if I bring my best self at this challenge and I know I can win," that is putting yourself in a winning position. Or not putting yourself in a winning position is saying, "I think even if I come at my best, I think I can win." That's not putting yourself in a winning position. So first, put yourself in winning positions. Having consistency does not guarantee success, okay? But having no consistency guarantees failure. You can be doing the same thing incorrectly, okay? And you might not always be confident. You cannot always contain and hold confidence, but you can hold conviction and belief to snatch your success when the opportunity is given, okay? And then the last one that I'm talking about, because we're going into the psychology of winning, is execution. Okay, and that's being able. Everything that I just said is carrying out. That's a strategy. This is carrying out a plan. Okay, this is being able to carry out a well-developed plan. Someone said visualization. We're gonna talk about that too. That's something. Woo, visualization. Yeah. We'll talk about that another time. But right now, just for today, execution. We're talking about this. We're gonna go more into the psychology of winning. I believe. I am. One day I'm gonna be a coach. I have been a coach before as a blue belt, but one day I will have my own team. And as you guys can see, the way I talk to you guys. Now imagine if you guys know who I always promote her, Taylor Moore, Guillotine Queen. Me and Taylor Moore basically talk every day. So now me and you guys are talking every day. So now you can kind of see how Taylor Moore went on the rampage that she did, because I believe I'm a very mental person. I'm very mental. And I believe a lot of martial artists don't do that. They're not mental. They don't. like they don't think, they just say, oh, if I just work out all day and I could be best. Yes, you can, but you can outfox a lot of situations. You can outfox a lot of situations. But that is the thing of the day, execution and feeling yourself is deserving of something. Also, I believe humbleness in martial arts, if you're playing sports, is a weakness. Because if you like think about what sports actually is, I want you guys to really think about it. Then I'm gonna go into the Q&A. What is sports? Human nature, or really every living organism every living organism on this planet, if you really think about it, including humans, we were bacteria at one point, right? That means we had to fight for, whoever was the strongest bacteria was able to pass its little genes so it could continue to grow, right? So there's a weird subtle dominance that's deep within our system that we have an innate desire to do. So humans used to, go to war. But then after a while, humans say, we can't kill everything. We need some entertainment. And that's what sports is. I believe sports is just a nice way of playing war. And that's why I say being humble, you can't, there's no way you can humbly chop a man's head off. There's no way you can do it. There's no way you can do it. You have to do it as quickly, efficiently, and disrespectful as possible. But anyways, let me get to the Q&A. That's my hot take on it. I don't know. But let's continue. So let me look. Let's look. Let's see what the Spider Gang has said. We might have a short live today. Cause I don't see many likes and I don't see many comments. I'm starting to notice that depending on the day I go live and the time, well, no, it's a solid live so far, but depends. Anyways, someone said, hi, fact, discipline, thoughts on creatine. Oh, I take creatine every day. Every time you guys see me, like when I'm burping, it's because before every live, I take creatine, and I don't know, for some weird reason, my creatine makes me burp. It's annoying. But I believe in creatine. Let's talk about, since we're talking about creatine, let's talk about some nutrition. I want to drop some gems for you guys. I said it a couple of times in previous lives, but let's talk about some nutrition. If you are a guy, girls too, but you want protein synthesis, muscle repair, and muscle growth, you can lose weight and still gain muscle. But in order to do that, you need a certain amount of protein every day. And I believe creatine is the cheat code to this. I've also heard that creatine, I'm paraphrasing. I like to say I'm paraphrasing, just in case someone say, no, it did. Okay, I'm paraphrasing. I don't have a damn thing in my hand. But someone said that creatine is actually a natural steroid. They said that if you were to efficiently take creatine over a certain amount of time, it will basically function like a steroid. Yep. Creatine allows water retention as well. And back to the protein synthesis. Let me talk about that part. Basically, so I'm currently 144 pounds. I am required to take 100 grams to 140 grams of protein every day. That's what I need to have protein synthesis and for my body to repair itself quickly. Okay? And I train 3 times a day, every day I train 3 times a day, 6 days a week. Okay? My body, you would think that my body is sore, but it is actually, I take enough protein. I take I think 200 grams of protein. Now think about it like this. Yeah, I said it. I take 200 grams of protein. Okay, so let's think about it like this. If you take just one set of creatine, okay, in the morning, that's typically creatine has 25 grams, okay? Now it comes down to what type of meat are you eating, okay, throughout the day. If you start doing the numbers, a lot of you guys are not taking enough protein. So that means you need to take your creatine morning, afternoon, or evening, night. You need to take your creatine about 4 or 3 times a day, and you need to space it out. Some people make the mistake of they will take, like, for example, they're like, okay, they just heard Smitty say, I need like 100 or 200 grams of protein a day, so I just got done with a hard workout. I'm gonna eat some some fat steak, and I'm gonna take all these oats, and that has like 10 grams, so I just ate like 50 grams of protein. Your body is only gonna take like 20 grams of that protein and make you poop out the rest. So that's why you have to space it out throughout the day. And I think creatine is a really, really good way to hack the cheat code of getting the correct amount of protein that you need every day. So creatine is one of the things I swear by. That was some, I be giving you guys, some knowledge, some $1 million knowledge for free. And then you want to know something I want to thank you guys so much on? When I be sitting back begging for likes, comments, and like super chats or $5 super chats, I am so happy that you guys do not flinch when I say that. I appreciate that, because I'm giving you guys some stuff that, like, recipes on how to win. Like, people would charge you guys a lot of money for this stuff that I be telling you. Like, let me think. What alone cost? Okay, watch this. When I freely tell people about the 6 families of submissions, or even that creatine knowledge, if you go on, well, let's talk about Jiu-Jitsu first. If you go on BJJ Fanatics, right? Typically, you would have to pay like $100 or something, or $200. If it's from me, because of the clout I have, I could literally charge you guys like $300 for an instructional. Some people's like, what the hell? No, like, that's actually typical of what is supposed to happen. Because of the clout that I have and the performances I've made, I could charge like $300 for an instructional, or $230. And then here I am on live giving it for free. And I don't have no problems with that. And I appreciate you guys for not getting mad at me when I say, can I have a super chat? Anyways, someone said, and even that creatine thing, like, that was oh man. Anyways, hello all. Just dropping off some love this evening. Everyone stay positive, blessed. Yes, yes, yes. Stay positive and stay blessed. Kobe Covington too, very good. Grappling, you're good too. Thank you. Visualization, yes. Do you recommend any supplements? Oh, this is fun. Supplements, I think, like, off rip, you have 1-a-day vitamins. That's really good for you. You have fish oil. That's really good for you. Just whatever you feel that you're lacking, to be honest. You need to look at what you're eating throughout the day. And just add, I mean, I do believe you need supplements, but I can't give you guys a straightforward answer because everyone's body is different. I think you should, like, ask yourself, like, am I sleepy all the time? Or am I feeling, do I have weak bones? It comes to, like, individuals, but I do believe supplements is good. Do I recommend any supplements? I mean, off rip, I say 1-a-day vitamins. I take that all the time. Wake up, I take like the little gummies. It's good for you. If you look at everything it literally says, like cell health and all this good stuff, I think it's really solid. So that's like a general supplementation, I would say. Fish oil too. Fish oil, 1-a-day vitamin, 1-a-day vitamins, and fish oil. And what else? You can go to the GNC store and just really just look and see. Like, I think if you go to a correct, like, store, a correct, like, creatine store, I go to GNC. I'm in the United States, California, SoCal, LA. So I say GNC. I don't know what you guys have that's a store. Go there and just look around and just read of what it does, supplements, and ask yourself, do I want this to be in my body? And there you go. It's for the most part healthy. Someone said, what was that? Oh, someone said, I'm letting you rant. Oh, I stay ranting. I stay ranting. I stay ranting. Have you ever competed high? And what do you think of fighters or grapplers competing high? I do have a. I call him my jiu-jitsu best friend. He I practice high. I practice high. Okay, I do that all the time. I do practice high, and I do believe I'm literally looking at all of my goody goods like surrounding me right now. But could I compete high? No. Me personally, he competes high, and I've watched this man win many competitions high. Like if you follow me on IG, there was one day where I showed an entire day of what it looks like competing, and he literally took a bong out right before it was time for him to go roll, and he ripped the bong right there, like right before he was gonna get on the mat to compete. And he's like, "You want some?" I was like, because me personally, I like to. I'm very sadistic, so I like. This is why I say you can't be humble for sports. I like to be very present of the crazy stuff I'm doing to people. I like to be very present. I like to look at their face, listen to their breathing. It's very disgusting what I like doing to people. So but I do feel like I'm more creative when I roll high. But will I compete high? No, because there's too many people that want to see me lose. There's too many people that's trying to hurt me. I wouldn't. I don't. I'm not gonna give them a chance or put myself in a bad position. Now there is a jiu-jitsu competition called High Rollers where you and your opponent smoke together and then y'all roll. I don't mind doing that. I could probably do that, but just me getting high before a competition, absolutely not. You won't catch me doing that. Not gonna lie, that's a lot of daily protein for a guy your size. Oh, me taking like 200 grams of protein? Well, let's look. Let's check it out. Let's really look at what's going on. So, and by the way, this is good for you guys to know, just in case if somebody tries to fact check me or expose Smitty or whatever. Let me give you guys the dangers of taking too much protein. If you take too much protein, it goes to your kidneys. If you take too much protein, it goes to your kidneys. I haven't researched what happens to your kidneys, but for someone like me, 5'7", 144 pounds, I sometimes end up taking, like, by the end of the day, 200 grams of protein. Well, when I wake up in the morning and I'm training 3 times a day, mind you, I'm training 3 times a day, so this is actually why. So if I wake up in the morning and I go striking, right, working on striking, that's a lot of damage that's happening to my body. Even though we're not sparring and we're just doing technique, there's still damage happening to your body. If you really think about like muscles, right? I know on the skin, like this, like outside it looks good, but if you was to look inside, it's a bunch of scars. Like that's all like muscles is. It's a bunch of like scars, and your body's trying to like stack it up. So you're literally ripping your muscles as you train, right? So that means your muscles need some type of repair, right? So I give my muscles the amount of protein it needs to basically repair itself. Take me a nap, wake up, then I go over to jiu-jitsu, right? And then, I just realized I sometimes train 4 times a day. I just realized that. Anyways, I go to jiu-jitsu, right? Sit back, we train, we wrestle, whatever, and sometimes, this is that phantom, like, fourth section, sometimes we do MMA training, and it's actually really hard MMA sparring. I put on my headgear, and we really, like, bang it out. Like, I've gotten a lot of bloody noses in sparring, hard sparring. So you have stuff like that, right? So now you've torn your muscles some more. So your muscles need repair, right? So then I add some more into my body. And then after now, I'm putting into my schedule going live with you guys. And then I go to the gym. After I get done with the gym, my body still needs muscle repairment. I've clocked it all in. It comes out to about, if I train about 3 or 4 times a day, it comes out to like 200 grams of protein. That's just Smitty, So Just letting you guys know, I don't think it's bad, but could be. If it is, I don't mind being corrected if that's bad, but your body needs it, or my body needs it. Anyways, someone said, "Have you ever had a bad injury while training in martial arts?" Yeah, you must be new. You must be new. I literally dislocated my shoulder 6 months ago. Yeah, and I still have shoulder problems while competing. Someone said clogged arteries and heart attack if you protein is animal. I don't get what you mean by that. Let me you gotta. Oh, and by the way, guys, if I don't train, I don't take as much protein. So let me put that disclaimer out there. So if I didn't train in the morning for striking, I'm not gonna be putting protein in my body. You get what I'm saying? Like I usually put protein in my body after I trained because it's all timing. I don't know if I said this, and maybe I've said it multiple times. Timing matters. So after 30 minutes to an hour after you worked out, you need to put protein in your body to basically allow your body to have good. I call it protein synthesis. I don't think that's the correct word, but I like the word protein synthesis because it motivates me to put stuff in my body because I believe that's growth. But like when I hear muscle repair and protein synthesis, like that's what I studied. I'm like, okay, like your muscles need to recover, and I've recently been emphasizing muscle recovery a lot now, like or just like not even muscle recovery, just recovery in general. I'm crazy about that now. I'm so crazy about that. So is creatine worth taking if you're only grappling and not weightlifting? I think creatine is good for any type of physical exercise that has weakened your muscles, like including cardio, like hit, that's high interval training. I believe anything that tears down your muscles, anything that's gonna make you sore when you wake up in the morning, yeah, I believe that that's creatine is good for that. Also, creatine, like the more creatine you take, that actually saves you from being so sore. That's why I said, like in my research, see. I need to start, but I don't have the resources right now to really like bring sources and show you guys where I get these facts from. Because I'm a nerd. I study a lot, but that's why creatine is low key. No, not creatine. Protein. No, creatine. There we go. Creatine is a natural steroid. This is what I've read. Smitty could be wrong, but Smitty came to his MMA fight looking shredded as hell. So you can be humble for sports. Yes, you can. But for combat sports, I don't I think being humble gets you nowhere. You don't have to be trash talky, but I think like for example, I think this is a great example. If I think being off the mat when you're not competing, be humble. Okay, that to me you need to be humble off the mat. Yes. I feel like me being able to talk to you guys would be so shocked how many people do not know how to talk to their fans. The best grappler in the world right now is Gordon Ryan. Mr. Gordon Ryan. I love Gordon Ryan, but I could not imagine Gordon Ryan being on a live stream like this talking to his fans. I couldn't imagine it. That man's not humble to me off the mat. But when you're on the mat, I think being humble is a weakness. I really do. I truly do. I believe it's a weakness. You need to be narcissistic when you are in combat sports. When you enter the cage, the competition floor, you need to be narcissistic. You need to believe. You need to think you're a god. Actually, not delusional. If you trained really hard, right? That's good, but you need to have the conviction that you're a god. It's crazy. But anyways, what are your thoughts on someone who's competing for the first time after a meniscus injury? Ooh, you need to make sure. I would say drill. Drill. whatever position that you are afraid of someone putting you in, I need you to go and have someone that you trust. Like, for example, for me, I've had a shoulder injury. So every day when I go into the gym now, I have some of my boys put me in a bad position and they go very, very slow. Like like imagine an armbar like this. They go really slow as if they've broken the grip and they're putting me in an armbar. They're using their entire body weight to turn my shoulder back. I couldn't do this, by the way. And then they extend it like that. And then if I feel any like pain, we'll go back and I'll have them hold in that position and I'll just strengthen it. And they'll go slower, slower and put more weight. So I think you do something like that. You need to do something where you are like basically stretching out that muscle, or putting some type of slow resistance on it. So that way, as time goes over, if you're going to compete, if somebody explodes in that position that you was originally afraid of, your body's prepared for that. You get what I'm saying? And it's not going to just blow out and explode. So that's what I'll say. Go do some lunges. I swear by lunges. I had a bad knee injury a couple of years ago, and now I'm able to shoot on that leg. So someone said, Deuce Merck the second. He said I'm 17, 5'10 and a half, and 195 to 200. What should be my walk around weight? And then what should be my competition weight for jiu-jitsu and kickboxing? Deuce, you be asking me the same. I like you, Deuce. You know why? Because the way you ask questions is the way I ask the internet questions. You've asked me the same question in 3 different ways, but I'm gonna answer your question. So you said what should be your walk around weight and what should be my competition weight for jiu-jitsu. I would say I don't think you need to really cut too much weight for jiu-jitsu. It depends on what type of 5'10 you are. Like are you a no, it's like are you a fat 195 or are you an athletic 195? You get what I'm saying? If you're a fat 195 to 200, you should probably be competing at like for jiu-jitsu like 170. 170 to 180. You need to cut down, you know? If you kickboxing, that's you gotta ask your coach that one. I would have to literally look at your body. I need to look at your body. And then also like how's your nutrition? Because there's cases of people who have great nutrition, right? And they're like your weight and size, and they could break themselves down all the way to 155 pounds and blow right back up to that size. Nutrition gives you that power. Like for me, I walk around at 147, and then I fight MMA at 135. And then there's some talks that I could probably make 125. You see what I'm saying? But my walk around weight is like 145. So I don't know. But I am very disciplined when it comes to nutrition. So hope that helps out. You drink any coffee at all or no? I honestly do not like coffee. I don't like coffee. I'm addicted to Red Bull though. But when I'm preparing for a fight, I can get rid of that. But if I'm chilling, oh man, I'm addicted to Red Bull. So maybe that's my caffeine. I do take caffeine, but I'm off of caffeine right now. I don't have no caffeine. I'm just naturally bubbly. But I don't like coffee. Ugh, I hate coffee. I love tea, but I hate coffee. I've never liked coffee growing up. So yeah. Not my thing. You could be a dog with the killer instinct on the mats and be humble off the mats. Yes, I agree. I totally agree. I think that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, people, when they look at my videos and they see me do, like, the most disrespectful stuff to my opponents, they're like, oh, this guy is not humble. He's going to face blah, blah, blah one day. I'm like, you don't even know me. You don't even know me. Shut up. You need to be more humble. I hate you. I'm like, okay, like, and like, go on, go. It, you know, a lot of if a lot of these guys focused on their own success instead of focused on hating me, they'll be just as successful. But yeah, I do believe you can be a dog with the killer instinct on the mats and be humble off the mats. You want to know what who are my inspirations when it comes to this mindset? I've noticed, I've noticed all of the most influential sports icons were assholes on the court. And specifically thinking basketball. When it shocked me when I found out what Michael Jordan used to do to people. It shocked me to find out what Kobe Bryant used to say to people. You get what I'm saying? And just because you have certain basketball players that don't say nothing, you'd be crazy to think they're not thinking like that, you know? So, yes, they're like, I don't know, but you would be so shocked how evil mentally you have to go in a space to win. Because you literally have to snatch it. Every win, somebody's winning and someone's losing. And there's no easy, I always say there's no easy way to chop a man's head off. I always say it. There's no humble, there's no nice way. Hold on, just sit here, let me cut your head off. And parade it and show everybody I beat you. No, you come here, stop moving, you're weak. Like, you know, and then once you step off, you know, there we go. But whatever. Some people can't distinguish being humble and acting like you are less. If you're not convinced you can win, you won't. Exactly. If you know, like let's talk about boxers. We talk about basketball players. Let's talk about Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather. So we talk about basketball players, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, right? What about Mike Tyson? Mike Tyson said that he was able to tell if someone was going to lose before they got on, like they got in the ring. Like he literally smelled the bitch in them. It might like I know some people are like, oh, that's just Mike Tyson, but no, I'm telling you that some of the people that I've ran through and done the meanest highlights to was because I smelled like weakness in them. And I took full advantage of it. And then afterwards, we were chilling on the mat, or no, chilling off the mat, and just laughing. And I'm, you know, giving them advice and stuff, being kind. But when we was on the mat competing, I didn't care for them. I don't know, but it's dark. But you gotta get like that, because if they, you know, you wanna know what I need you guys to do? Go look at people who got knocked out. There was this amateur fight I've seen like a week ago, right? You know, I was sitting back lurking on this particular person, and this person had like fighters, right? Or teammates. So I was looking at, and they had a fight coming up. So I was looking at this particular guy, and he had a girlfriend. This is real life, by the way. This is not fake. This is real life. So this guy had a girlfriend. I was looking at his story where he had a girlfriend, beautiful girlfriend. He was trying to be an MMA fighter or whatever, and he had this opposing dude, and you know he was trying to be an MMA fighter, and they're basically coming together to fight for a local title shot or whatever. The guy with the cute little girlfriend, he got brutally knocked out, and I heard his girlfriend in the footage like screaming badly, you know, like it was bad. And he in the face off, I looked at him, he looked nervous in the face off, and then he got brutally knocked out. It was bad. I felt so sorry for hearing that. You know, I was like, damn. But anyways, so I need you guys to go look at the person when they get brutally knocked out, and look at the other person that has celebrated, and ask yourself, which one do you want to be? Which one do you want to be? Do you want to be the one with the cute girlfriend getting brutally knocked out, or the little savage that did the knocking out and had his hands up like, what's up? Like, I don't know. Like, you know, But you could be, at least she was humble. At least she was humble. Like, fuck out of here, bro. Fuck out of here. Oh my God. What are your thoughts on fireman's takedowns in a high level? I had a super fight 2 weeks ago and immediately was put into a crucifix. Should I give up on the fireman? There's a video, and I have not posted it yet. It's a short. I was going against a wrestler in the gym, and he tried the fireman's carry me, and I put him in a reverse triangle. Like he was just like stuck. I think the fireman's carry is it. I think it's better as a counter. I don't think you should give up on the fireman's carry. I think you need to, like, that shouldn't be your first go to. I think if someone's coming at you and then you do the fireman's carry, it legit will work. But if you're sitting there wrestling with someone and you drop to your knees and you try to do a fireman's carry, you're gonna get reverse triangle, crucifixed, and yada yada yada. So I don't think you should give up on it. I just think you need to use the tool correctly. Like, you have to understand what is the positives and negatives and when can you use it and when can't you use it. I would say don't give up on that, though. A lot of people can't do it. And once you become like a savage and you become really good, and you have a crowd watching you, you do that, people are going to go crazy, And then you'll have stories of saying, like, yeah, when I used to do the fireman's carry, people used to put me in a crucifix. I always say, like, your limitations, if you understand your limitations, you can become limitless. Your limitations will make you limitless. Let me see. I made an account that's kind of like yours. It's called Grindmaster007. I'm going to join on that one. Cool. Or, like, when some random dude asked him how was the weather up there and he spat on him saying it's raining. Oh, yikes. We fighting. I don't care how tall you are. You ain't gonna spit on me talking about it's raining. Nasty. My G, you're the best I've seen. Thank you. Is smelling blood in comp real? Please, let I think I get what you're saying, but please re-ask me that question. What is the best takedown for jiu-jitsu? Because I'm coming from wrestling and smoking jiu-jitsu guys, except for when I go for leg takedowns. I think, my favorite takedown is double legs. If you're going to do single legs, you need to do head inside single legs, not head outside single legs. I think having a crazy snap down. There was this old wrestler dude. I think he was a black belt that came 2 days ago, and me and him were going at it, and I could not get this guy off me, so I decided to wrestle with him. And when I tell you, when I stood up, his snap down was like a phantom. I didn't see it. He just went, whoa, and I was already, like, I was in a front headlock. I said, wait. And I had to think, like, how did you get here? He didn't submit me, but it was just, I haven't watched the video to actually, like, because that's what I do when if a black belt comes in and manhandles me, even if they didn't submit me like this guy, I still studied to see what happened. I want to know, what was you doing, Let me see. How long were you training before you became a true savage? Let me say that again. Savage. I've been just cotton mouth. How long were you training before you became a true savage? What do you mean by that? You want to know something funny? I think if you join everyone who joins martial arts is a savage. I think you're crazy. I think there's something wrong with you. Even if you right now are not confident, even if you right now are not the best, you're still crazy, because a lot of people wouldn't do what you're doing. And I think, like, so someone says, how long were you training before you became a true savage? Honestly, I don't think you become a true savage until you compete. You could be training all day, and my old gi coach, Marcelo Perdomo, said, don't be an academy lion. Don't come to class and just, try to beat up on the people you see every day. Go find a stranger at a competition and impose your will. I think that's when you become a true savage. You can train all day all day. But until you go compete and feel your feet is sweating for the first time from nerves and your body is like just not doing what it's supposed to do because you're so nervous, but you did it and you survived, that's when you realize you are a true savage. And I believe all jiu-jitsu players should go compete because you're not going to get hurt. I mean, you can get hurt, but learn how to tap quickly. But yeah, I think you won't become a true savage until you compete. That's me personally. How do you beat guys who outweigh you? Constant motion. Have better cardio, better strategy, be a better tactician, and study jiu-jitsu. or have a better IQ, be well studied. You have to be well studied. Be well studied. What's your favorite submission? The triangle choke. Well, it's starting to be arm bars. Yeah, arm bars is starting to become my... Because I love triangle chokes. Okay, so I'm starting to learn that every submission is different depending on the rule set or the sport you're in. So for pure jiu-jitsu, pure sport jiu-jitsu, I would say the triangle. I think the triangle is the most reliable choke I have ever ran across. But me starting to mess around with MMA, I feel that the armbar is starting to become one of my favorite submissions because it's so dynamic. You can get the armbar from anywhere. The triangle is very obvious that the triangle's coming, but that armbar, if you get really good at it, it's a nightmare to deal with. And maybe even in sport jiu-jitsu, it's actually interesting because in the 6 families of submissions, which is the back, leg locks, arm bars, guillotines, triangle chokes, and kimuras, the armbar is a little bit rated higher than the triangle choke. So I believe if I get really, really good at arm bars like I am with triangle chokes, I probably, man. Anyways, that was a little tangent. Y'all know Smitty. Y'all know how Smitty gets. How important is strength versus technique for people 145 to 155 in freestyle wrestling? I think strength is very important. Versus technique? Ooh, strength versus technique. I think technique will beat strength every time. If you guys are the same, like roughly the same weight class, yeah, I think technique beats strength every single time. Every single time. You can come in strong as hell, but I think if you had this person was a master of strength and this person was a master of technique, this master of technique would know how to get around that strength. Where that guy of strength wouldn't know how to get around the master of technique. So I think technique is more important than strength. But I'm not saying disregard strength, but I do think technique is more important. Tyler R. Let me see. What is your martial arts training to gym training ratio? I train in martial arts more than I go to the gym. So if you want to get better at martial arts, do more martial arts. I have Tyler. Did that give you your answer that you wanted? I don't know if I gave you the answer you was looking for. I have competition this Saturday. Wish me luck. Good luck. Do you have any questions? What's the hardest race in martial arts to beat? I don't think that matters. Race? Well, I could play with that. Might get canceled, but I'll play with it. I do think, like, if we're talking about prejudice wise, I know people are probably like, oh, what is he about to say? It's weird. This is actually a compliment. But I feel like Asians, man, if you deal with an Asian person who has dedicated their life to whatever martial art you're dealing with, you about to be going through hell trying to beat that motherfucker because I don't know me like maybe I watch too much anime. Maybe I watch too much anime, but when how smart Asian people are. But usually, the sad thing about a lot of Asian people is they're not confident. So that's the sad part, you know. But you said them Brazilians, though. Brazilians, yes. Brazilians, yes. Brazilians are hard to beat. If I do see I'm dealing with a Brazilian, I do get irritated because I know it's about to be like this is their. I don't know if this is like Brazilian culture, Jiu-Jitsu Brazilian culture. But every time when I'm going against a Brazilian, I just feel like it's gonna be some try hardery. Like this person's about to try hard, you know. I've went against a few Brazilians, and they're just try hards. And that's not me talking bad about Brazilians. I think Brazilians are very tough, but if we're talking about just me being ignorant Smitty, I just assume if I see an Asian person and he's moving really really well, you know, he has the power of God in anime, and that's just how I feel, you know, like. But then you never know, because maybe some people feel like that about black people. You know, they feel like black people are very, you know, we have went down an ignorant rabbit hole, by the way. You know, this is a very stupid conversation, but I wanted to talk about it. Anyways. What's your competition routine? Do you do warm ups? Do you calm yourself, or like to go in hyped up? Ooh. Um. Okay. That's such a great question. Such a great question. I was thinking about this today. Okay. When I go to a competition, my I don't know if this is real or not, but I try my best not to waste no energy. Like it's I don't know if it's dumb, I don't know if it makes sense, but when I go to a competition and I haven't went up yet, I try not to move any muscles in my body. Like minimal muscle movement. Like I don't like I'm sure everyone is probably tense, like relax. Relax. You know, you feel that relaxation you just did? I try to stay like that the entire time. Like even when I'm warming up, I try to remain calm the entire time. But now the music I'm listening to is, you know, it could be some rock, it could be some disrespectful rap, it could be some Afro beats. I honestly love Afro beats the most, because it just gets like, you know, to stay in rhythm you got to be relaxed. But you can't do that. So I love Afro beats, and then yeah. But so the music I'm listening to is pretty hyped. But I believe the biggest enemy in competition for your competition routine is your nerves. Your nerves, the nervous system. That's the biggest enemy. It's the biggest enemy. So, what makes you nervous? Thinking too much about what you have to do, thinking too much about the competition ahead. This is why a couple of streams ago I said you need hobbies outside of martial arts. You need to have something that you like to do and that you can lock your brain out of. So when you get to a competition, just keep your mind off it until it's time. You know, that's kind of what I like to do. Nerves are the biggest. Woo! That's why I usually tell people that's having their first competition, I always prepare them. I say usually on your first competition, you lose. Most people, white belts that start off, they're gonna lose. Why? Because the biggest enemy to your first competition is yourself. You are your biggest enemy. You're gonna come in and you're gonna be sitting there and you're gonna psych yourself out. You're gonna go against somebody you clearly should have beat. You clearly should have beat that person. But because you was nervous, you gassed your body gassed itself out too quickly. Yep. Let me see. Someone said they're bred specifically with whatever they're going after. I believe the Asian thing. I'm telling you, man, them Asians is dangerous. If I get canceled for saying that, oh well, I believe that. I love Japanese culture, all that stuff. Them Asians, they didn't convince me. They didn't convince me that they got there's something about them. When you have an Asian person that is like locked in and they fighting for the family, like they are unbeatable to me. They are unbeatable. I mean, and I do believe being black also holds like a stereotype too that I take full advantage of. Because, like when people see black people, they think of a rambunctious person that's going to come at you crazy. So I play into that role. I'm like, okay, whatever you fear, I'm going to be that if that gives me an edge to win. So let me continue. Uh, I respect your mindset. Thank you. It says, let me see. Someone says, training it better? Wait. Is it better to train and work or train and go to college when you're trying to be a UFC fighter? I think it's better to do whatever is sustainable for your life and then go training. I think you need to make sure your life is in control. And then, I mean, I sound so hypocritical when I say this because sometimes I spent my last dollar to train martial arts, but I don't think everyone should do that because I wanted to be a social media influencer too. So luckily I'm here. I can get paid from YouTube and stuff like that. But I think you need to make sure your living arrangements is good, and then from there, you know keep training as much as you want. How much does it cost to compete in a jiu-jitsu tournament typically? If you sign up early, it could be like 50 to 80, $90, $100 sometimes. If you sign up late, it could go up to like $200. I have never paid $200 for a competition, and I never will. I will never do that. Typically, though, what I have paid, typically before these organizations started inviting me, I'd pay like 130, like that's typical, or 105, because if you pay for two divisions, that's like 130. So like 105, that's typical. 105 to 130. That's a good typical jiu-jitsu tournament range. If you sign up not late, not early, there you go. I'll be at your gym tomorrow training, bro. Cool. Can't wait. And then someone says, you ever train in the gi? Yep, I'm a blue belt in the gi, but I don't train in gi no more. It's kind of funny. My gym, my old gi gym, hit me up, or some dude like a purple belt. I think he might be a brown belt now. Hit me up and he was like, "Yo, we miss you." And I'm thinking, bro, it's been years. It's been years since. What do you mean you miss me? Like, did y'all see my clips on YouTube or something? And then y'all said, you know what? It'd be nice if he came back. It'd be nice. When is your first MMA fight? It already happened. It already happened. My first little semi-contact. My next one's happening. Well, I need to hit them up. But my next one should be happening August 18th. Yeah, it should be happening August 18th. Yeah, so it looks like we are out of comments. Does anyone else have any more comments before we end this live? Cool little live. That 78 minutes went by ridiculously fast. That went by ridiculously fast. Oh my gosh. Any more questions? I'll give you guys let me see. Is it gonna be in the cage? The August one, no. Okay, so what happened was so in May, like May 1st, I jumped up and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do MMA. Literally, I was like, I'm gonna do MMA. So I contacted this organization. I said, hey, what do you guys have? Because I fought in this organization before for Muay Thai. And I like the way this organization runs, and I wanted them to be the first people I go in for when it comes to doing MMA. So they told me that the cage fighting will be happening after summer. but they do have some semi-contact fights before, which would be June and August. So I was like, well, I'm literally jumping up talking about on a whim that I want to do MMA. So that would mean if I train for May to June, that's a month of training in MMA. All right, let's do it. So I did a month of training for my first little semi-contact MMA fight. And, that happened. It's posted on YouTube. Now we have the August one. It's going to be in the same venue. And after that, I would have some semi-contact MMA experience, and then I'll go into the cage. I believe I should have a total of 3 fights this year. 2 semis and 1 main actual cage fight. So that's the goal. That's what I hope to get. And then I'm going to have a Jiu-Jitsu super fight next month. So this is what it's looking like. July, a Jiu-Jitsu super fight. My first competition is purple belt. That looks like that's gonna, and I believe that's gonna be live streamed. So and I was talking to the organization today, and that looks like that's gonna happen. I believe that's gonna happen. Then we have August, my other semi-contact MMA, and then we have September. September is gonna be 2 back-to-back tournaments that I plan on doing. And that's going to be some absolute division. So y'all might get to see me submit purple belt in the absolute division. We'll see that. We'll see how that goes. I need to make sure my shoulder's good. And I believe that the cage fight might happen October, November, December. That's what it's looking like. So, yeah. And my focus right now is not to get injured. Okay. Would you ever join the UFC? I'd be down. I'd be down to join the UFC. I think, yeah, I'll be down. I believe I could be champion. I believe that's delusional in a way, but if I keep doing good, I believe I could be like a UFC champion or something. But the statement right now is delusional, but I don't care. That's the ceiling I feel I could go if I do the correct preparation for it. How do you eat day of competition for energy? Full belly is obviously bad, so what do you choose? I don't really. Well, it depends. It depends. Because I take a poop before every match. Like, I'll say like 45 minutes before like the match is about to come, I go take a poop. So just if you're gonna eat full, eat things that could digest very quickly, like white rice and stuff like that, like things that will digest quickly. So usually though, for me, and I don't think you should do this, I compete on an empty stomach. I'm literally hungry when I'm hungry for a win and I'm hungry for food when I do matches. But sometimes I've noticed that there's been competitions where I had 8 matches, and because I didn't eat no food, by the end of the last matches, I'm tired. So I think you can eat though. Full belly is fine, but stuff that digests quickly. You don't want bread. Bread sits in your stomach, makes you, fat. You don't want like a potato or something. You want, something that goes in and goes out really quickly. Take a poop before every, I'll say 45 minutes. I say 45 minutes because usually the bathroom lines are long. So, or maybe you know this. I think you know this. I'm sorry if I assumed you didn't. Has Taylor ever beat you? No. She's never beat me. There's been funny moments. I think maybe I was I was explaining something to her. Or she like a legit submitted me. No, Taylor's gotten very close though. When are you and Taylor going to do a live like this together? I don't know. Me and Taylor can't do a live together. I'm gonna tell you why. Because we gonna get canceled with the way we talk. Sean O'Malley is at your weight class, right? Yeah, Sean O'Malley is 135. My people are talking about that it's possible I could actually be 125. Like I could probably hit 125 if I was to professionally do MMA. They think that that would be my professional weight. Like right now, amateur I'm 135, and my professional weight would be 125. I think I could do both. I think I could do 125 and 135. If I had to deal with Sean O'Malley, I mean my striking needs to get up, and he's tall. He's like what 5'10", 5'11". His jiu-jitsu is good too. So yeah, nah, like I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. This is if I was to make it all the way up to where I would have to fight Sean O'Malley for the title. I think that version of Smitty would be able to handle him. I'm assuming. Like, think about it. If I made it that far, I think like the skill set that's required, and like forget Sean O'Malley. Let's talk about all the people that I would have to go through. I don't know. So I don't know. I guess that's one of those things where you say like that's we'll cross that bridge when it comes. You get what I'm saying? Like, but I feel like if I made it all the way to Sean O'Malley, okay, cool. Like, then I would believe I could beat Sean O'Malley. But do I think I could beat him now? No, absolutely not. Yeah, nah. Striking is too beautiful. He has beautiful striking. His striking's beautiful. I've seen his jiu-jitsu too. I could probably compete with him in jiu-jitsu. He's not a jiu-jitsu guy. He's good at jiu-jitsu, but I could probably compete with him in jiu-jitsu right now. But striking, that man will knock me out. You saw what happened to Sterling? It'll be like that right now. I would over lunge and he would be like that's exactly what would happen. Which fight science do you recommend to a 40-year-old newbie? Depends. What are you interested in? Are you interested in striking or are you interested in grappling? Gotta answer that first. Who would you want to face in a jiu-jitsu match? Um, Nobody. There's no one that excites me like that in jiu-jitsu. There's nobody in jiu-jitsu that I actively watch. Like I like when I tell you when I express certain things to you guys, I will tell you if it's delusional or if I believe it's a fact. My delusional mind would love to get to a level where I would go to like ADCC, win, like get to the absolutes, the finals, and go against Gordon Ryan. Like if I had that skill set, I would love to do that. Like go against because I know that right there. If I did something like that, like what Lachlan Giles did, where he was heel hooking all those big dudes. If I was doing something like that and made it all the way to the finals to go against like Gordon Ryan, that's a dream I would love to do. It's that shit is delusional. I'm sorry, potty mouth. That's delusional, but like, what do I imagine my delusion of grandeur at night? That's it right there. That's it right there. Like seeing like about to go against like Gordon Ryan, you got John Danaher, because I really I watch their instructionals every day. I learn a lot of jiu-jitsu from them. They're the pinnacle of the sport. But I'm not Gordon Ryan size, so I don't think I would ever go against him. But there's no one, or maybe the Rutolo brothers. I think they're bigger than me too. So there's no one that really excites me in jiu-jitsu right now. A lot of these guys, they don't have personalities and they're boring to watch. Sorry to say. What's a basic training for a new beginner? What do you mean by that? Please re-ask that question. Please re-ask that. How long does it take someone to get to the UFC from start to finish? Is Hamzat career's over? How long does it take someone to get to the UFC from just start to finish? I'm not sure. I think like someone asked me, like the guy, I don't know if he's still in here. He asked me, are you gonna be doing the cage? Me, I believe in small wins. So, I'm just prepping myself. I'm trying to prep myself properly. With the rate that I'm going, may not make it to the UFC, but I'll have a lot of MMA fights. But I think another thing is, one thing about the UFC though, I think this is a cheat code right here. I do think this right here is a cheat code. If I have a good story or good popularity, like a solid fan base, which I believe will happen with me doing live streaming every day, if I have that right there, um, they would boost my career up very fast. Like I would be able to get to the UFC because I'm bringing in the eyes. At the end of the day, the UFC is a business, and they care about who is a good performance artist. So that's why for me, my goal right now is to make sure when I do jiu-jitsu or when I do MMA is to finish these matches. That's all I ever care about. Get a submission, and if my striking skills get better, get a knockout. Fuck the decision. That's me. That's me. So as long as I do that and focus on that, the other stuff will come. Stay on live, build rapport with you guys. Stuff will come. Is Hamzat career over? Not. I don't think it's over, but I think people don't really care too much about him. You could go to O'Malley Gym in Arizona. Tim is a good dude. That's his coach. Yeah, I could. I don't have nothing against. I mean, I'm in California, so you know, I don't want to go to Arizona. You Musamechi might be your size. He's an apex predator and no gi too. Yeah, yeah, I could go against Mikey Musamechi. That would be cool. That would be a match. That I think Mikey Musumeci is going against Cade Rutolo, right? Tomorrow, I believe. I think it's tomorrow. So Mikey Musumeci's a beast. He's very very meticulous with the way he is. He submits people. If Mikey Musumeci had a personality or like a swag to him, he would be he'd be the face of jiu-jitsu in my opinion with the way because that man finishes. He's a submission artist as well. Yeah, Mikey Musumeci would be fun. I think though that I would have to like that's true technique versus technique. I would have to make sure my technique is on point with him. But he's a black belt and I'm a purple belt, so I still got a couple of years before I ever have to deal with Mikey Musumeci. But yeah, I want to be a UFC fighter. Any tips? How many submissions do you have for jiu-jitsu? Like how many competitions have you been in? What about you hop in some amateur MMA? Like what's your amateur record? How long have you been training? I don't think there's tips right now. I think you just need to train and get into it. And you seem young. I'm assuming you're young. I believe you're young. You say you're getting out of wrestling and you're going into that. Yeah. So I think you're at a good start. You have a wrestling base. You're learning jujitsu. Go do some jujitsu comps. Focus on submitting people, and or maybe if you have a Muay Thai gym around you, go do Muay Thai. Muay Thai has a lot of PKBs. That's basically Muay Thai competitions. Go do some Muay Thai competitions. Like get your experience up. Don't rush. Don't rush. Take your time. You look like you'd be funny at making funny skits. I think I could. I would love to do funny skits. That'd be fun. I love that. Training 10th planet and kickboxing at 17, by the way. Yeah, see? I figured, I was like, yeah, you'd be fine. You will be fine. At 17, the funny thing, however, about young martial artists, like every time people, and this is not me talking bad about you. This is not me talking bad about you. But every time I see someone say, "Oh, they're a young phenom," I'm just thinking like, yeah, life hasn't bitten them in the ass yet. Let's see, when they're 18, I would say typically, especially when they say female phenoms, typically like 19 years old, 20, like that's when these young phenoms feel like they are adults. No, they learn that they're adults, and then they start kind of going off at the deep end and stuff like that. I've seen so many phenoms come and go, but let me see how you do it when life is, you have to live life, but anyways, maybe that's me being a hater, I guess. I guess, I don't know. But I never be impressed with that. Your energy level is crazy good. I hope you get a lot of subs. Thank you. I sub. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. I don't know who this is though. Z Nell Zn. I can't even look. Yeah, I can't even look. Anyways. All right, so it's been 95 minutes. Do we have any last questions before I end the live and go to the gym and pump my iron and jump my ropes? Any last questions? I said that, didn't I say that like 20 minutes ago? I was like, any last questions? And I went on a tangent in my little Smitty tirade. All right. Respect. Okay. I guess that's it. That's the live. All right. Okay, before we go, we have 21 likes. My connoisseur spiders, please, let's get to 25. Can we get to 25 likes? 25 likes. We had 21 right now. 25 likes. I greatly appreciate that. My spider gang, it's a Wednesday, and we didn't have a lot of people come in today, but that's fine. I don't mind talking to you guys, doing whatever. And then my super spiders didn't drop no money this live stream. Totally fine. Y'all dropped a lot of money last live stream, so that's cool with me. Someone said I should put my Cash App in my bio, so I did. So if you see my Cash App in the bio, that's not me being weird. Someone, they told me last live to do that, so whatever. It's a Smitty'Wit with 2 T's at the end. We are at 24 likes. Let's see. Can we get 25? I feel like we can get 30, but I don't feel like e-begging for too long. I came across your David Goliath video and been following since. Glad to see you on live now. Hope you stay with it. Yes, like I said, as long as I stay consistent and just keep showing up with you guys, it won't guarantee that the live stream is gonna blow up. It won't guarantee it. But I have conviction. I have belief that as long as I believe my personality shines really well, and I believe people need someone to talk to. So, and I feel like I'm in a position where I can give back to people for free. And then I feel like with your support, we can all build something really, really incredible. So that's kind of the game plan. And yeah, we're at 24 likes. Can I get one more? One more like. Who out of you 23 get on Joe Rogan, you will blow up? Joe Rogan actually follows me. Did you know that? If you go on my Instagram, Joe Rogan follows me. That for months, that was my bragging rights. People would be like, you're this and you're that. I'd be like, but do Joe Rogan follow you? But do Joe Rogan follow you? I don't know if Joe Rogan still follows me, but I don't want to check. It's just my ego saw that man followed me, and I was just like, yeah. But yeah, Joe Rogan followed me. So I believe you might see Smitty on Joe Rogan. You never know. We have 24 likes. I think y'all just don't want me to go. They're like, nah, we gonna hang over that like, so you can sit here and talk and keep e-begging. We have 24 likes. 24 likes. I know one of you 25 got one like to give. Hey, tap that like button so I can go get better at the gym for you guys. Somebody tap that like. It's 25 viewers. Let's get 25 likes. Wish I could like twice for you. I appreciate you. You good. Jiu-Jitsu community ain't that big. Rogan knows who you are. Yeah. That's the biggest, highest honor for me. The man follows me on IG. 25 likes. I appreciate you guys. We are out of here. Take care. Westside.